Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. We have Alicia here. We about to be. This smells me up.
Wow.
We about to make some fuzzy socks. I've never done a thumbnail before. It's the perfect time to do a thumbnail. Yeah, we about to be making some fuzzy the yarn Crocs. And watch the recent Tisa video. It's like it's 1 o'clock in the morning. It's 1 something in the morning. Yeah.
124.
I kind of want some more Cheetos. I go get some in a minute. I was about to stop recording, but yeah, we're about to make these Crocs.
To upload as much of the story as I can.
So how is everybody's day?
People get so annoyed with the follow for part 4.
I want to just
follow me for part 17. I'm just going to do the best I can to keep.
Ooh, I didn't see nobody doing it like this.
Each at a time. I'm going to go in order
the line is cute.
from the time we met until the time
Do it like
I got our divorce
you could do
decree
it
in the
like
mail. So
because
that
I
is
saw it like
a
the way
lot
you
of time to
it.
cover.
You could do like
Please give me the grace.
certain
just get
parts,
it
so
out.
instead of doing it like
It
wavy
may not be all
each
in one
line,
day.
like you
It
could
may
do
not be
like
all in
half
2
of that line
days.
wavy and
But
then
what I can
go
tell you is,
adjacent
even
with
if you
a
don't
different color and then like kind of
necessarily
like
see a video,
lightning or
probably
like
recording it and then I will
marble.
upload it into the
I think that's what I was
playlist
doing,
titled
like with this one, because I was marking them for different colors, so I wasn't getting
what else
confused.
do I need to cover ahead of time, because I feel like this video is important to give some sort of context, so that way when people jump into the sequence,
marble.
they kind of figure out, oh, let me start at the introduction video and then work my way through. A lot of the questions that you all have sent me will be answered when I start and tell the story in order. Everything I'm going to tell you can be verified. There are people in my life who can easily verify, yes, this did happen. Yes, he really did do that. Yes, he said that. Yes, she did go through that. I had no contact whatsoever with my ex-husband in any way, shape, or form.
You know, just like a random little.
Communicate. We do not have mutual friends.
Oh my god.
Communicate through those people. No contact.
That would be kind of cute.
I cannot stress that enough because I feel like somebody.
But it's not that many colors.
No.
It's just
I ain't seen him. I ain't heard from him. I want to hear from him.
Using that orange?
And I will tell the entire story up until the last time I did hear from him and what happened.
No question.
Yeah. This is my story.
Just so I have to cut a lot.
I am just a regular woman who thought she met the one, and I didn't.
What the fuck I'm doing? I'm just drawing lines at this point.
I truly had no idea who the fuck I married. Like how I twisted that. Anyway. Alright, y'all. This is the introduction, so welcome. Part 1 will be up shortly.
You did the heart. That's cute.
Please excuse the hair, but here is part 1 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So I met my ex. I called it the United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags that, I mean, you would have thought I was colorblind because I ignored all of them. So, anyway, back to the story. We met around March 4th. We exchanged phone numbers. He called me.
My nail broke. I noticed when I got in the shower.
For the first time.
Right off.
In the first phone call, he told me that he had just moved to Georgia from California from San Diego. His job had both of his parents were deceased. His father was a Philadelphia police officer. His mom was a teacher.
I don't know, I wrote an A right there.
He also told me
I was like, we're putting an A on there.
He lived in Augusta with his family. He had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. He also had 2 half-brothers on his dad. He's actually attractive.
He is not attractive.
6'4", 6'5".
Damn.
Oh, also,
not cute.
I apologize. So let me go back to the first conversation. Let me add something.
Look up
He
Legion.
did tell me in the first phone call that he was divorced, and that his ex-wife she had 2 children, a boy and a girl who were teenagers, young adults. I think the girl was about 20, and he said that he had a very close relationship with his stepkids, but that he and his ex-wife had divorced because she cheated on him out in California.
He's actually
Georgia was
girl.
beginning for him.
You said what?
She was still out in California. The kids were still out in California, and so
see if the nigga was fine.
it's like there's no. I can't stand her.
No, that nah.
I have to put that in there because that will come back later.
Alright.
So this is just setting the stage again. That first conversation was we talked about family, job, friends, how he ended up in Georgia, me being in Georgia, the things that I would think people talk about in the first.
Like however I just did.
All right, now
parts,
back to the tire
like
blew out.
I mean,
So he shows up to the gas station.
Should have did these like this.
He changes my tire, which I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world. And then he proceeds to say, "Hey, I found a tire place around the corner. You need to get another tire. Like you can't drive on this donut." So he followed me to the tire place, and then helped me get a tire, paid for it. So I was definitely like,
what color
wow.
should blue equal?
And so the vibe was good.
I feel like it should be the
So
pattern
anyway,
of
I get the tire fixed. We follow each other to the Cheesecake Factory over in Perimeter. We hold hands walking into the Cheesecake Factory. So in my mind, I'm like,
I don't know.
this
I
is
guess to
just,
make it so it's like
this,
not.
Oh my God, I had butterflies. That's the look of a woman who had butterflies. So I had butterflies.
No, I'm saying like what color yarn should they equal?
So I know. We go in. There's a long wait.
What color?
And so we sit outside and we just talk. And the conversation's great. And this is where he tells me what it is.
Blue, black, purple, pink.
He tells
That's
me,
like perfect.
I believe at the time he was 42. He was like, I want to get married and it be for real. He's like, my parents were married 40 plus years before my mom passed away. And I want that. I want marriage, a family, a house. Like that is what I want. He's like, as a man, I'm ready to get married, but I want it to be real because the first time, it really hurt me when she cheated on me. So he's telling me everything that I wanted to hear. And so he was like, what is it that you want? And I said pretty much the same thing. I was like, I'm ready to get married. Definitely want to have a family. And I want to marry my best friend. So we both put on the table that we wanted marriage. And this is the end of part 1. Alright, who the fuck did I marry? Part 2. So we both put on the table what it is that we wanted. We both had established we were dating for marriage. We were not dating just to date. We were not trying to be friends with benefits and none of that. So the dinner at Cheesecake Factory went really well. We laughed, we joked, we talked about people, which is kind of up my alley, my sense of humor. It was a good vibe. So at the end of the date, at the end of dinner, we sat in his car and he played this song for me by John Legend. I don't know the name of the song by the time this video posts, I will put the name at the bottom. I just remember that John Legend was talking about, I think I met my wife tonight. And I thought it was a sign. So I was like, oh.
Now, if you was a fire nigga, then you would be hot shit to me.
We ended up sitting in the car talking.
What do you mean by that?
Can't lie.
Just about life and experiences until about midnight. So during this conversation, he again is telling me worked with. That will come back later. And he seemed real cool about it. He was like, that was before me and blah, blah, blah. So the conversation was good. Midnight come to quarantine at his place, which he had like a studio
honestly, that shouldn't have been
type
the issue.
of situation. Like it clearly where he was
Because y'all
staying.
had only been dating for what,
I
a
was
month or
like,
2 weeks?
it's like a studio apartment.
Well, I get it. You
Like,
spend that much time with
he
somebody
kept
every
telling
single
me,
day.
like, this is
You don't
temporary
be under there
because
every day.
I'm looking for a house. Like, he showed me the email from a
In this
woman who
particular
worked at the
situation.
company where she was out on maternity leave, but she was putting him in contact with a realtor to help him find a townhome or a single family house. So I was just like, okay, this is definitely temporary. Like, he's not trying to stay here long term. And she was apologizing in the email. I'm so sorry, this should have been taken care of before you got here, but it wasn't. I saw the email. I read it. I read the email. So the decision was,
Oh no.
we're going to quarantine
Oh no.
at the studio, or we're going to quarantine at my house?
Everywhere.
First mistake I made. Well, there's a lot, but this was a mistake I made. So ladies, caution moment. During one of our dates, because keep in mind, in those 2 weeks, we were seeing each other quite a bit. Nothing physical or anything like that. Just two people who I thought were really on some. All right, let's see if there we are. So he moved in.
You was raised in the
About
church.
bills. Let me
You
clear
used to
something
being
up that I
alone.
said in the other video
Now.
where I said he paid all the bills. He paid all the household bills. He did not pay my car payment, my cell phone, or my car insurance. He paid the rent, because my rent at the time was less than $1,000. He paid
this is
utility bills.
pre-quarantine, like when quarantine
And so
first happened.
when he's telling me that he's a regional manager, I was like, wow, okay, so you got money.
Riverdale.
And so he paid all the household bills. So my check really was just taking care of me, myself, and I. And together, and I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, he's helping to cook and clean, and then we have a conversation about house. Is he still going to buy a house just for him, or is he going to buy a house where it's for us? Because we are going to try to make this thing work, be official, get married, have a family. So the question now on the table is, what are we going to do? Because I didn't want to stay in Riverdale, Georgia. I did not want to raise a family there. I refused to have a baby in Clayton County. So the decision was made, let's start looking for a house for both of us. Remember, he was already looking for a house for him. But then he was like, you know what, we're together, I plan to marry you. Let's look for a family home for the two of us. He was like, this is how I played arena football. I invested my money really well. So he said, I
Cause
have
either way I
money
go, these both gonna be
that will help pay for the
Put
mortgage.
it
He
on
was
the
like,
line.
we're good. Like, I'm financially, I am okay. He was like, that's why I'm able to get approved for $750,000 mortgage. So he told me that his money was in different savings accounts. He said he had an account with Chase Bank, he had an account with US Bank, and he had an offshore account. This is what he told me. The offshore account, I was like, why? And he explained something about, the US, the US imposes taxes on money when you have a certain amount in US banks. He was like, so everybody knows that it's smart to have some money in an offshore account.
I ain't got
Y'all,
that type of
look,
money.
I live paycheck to paycheck. I was like, okay, that's whatever. I said, so you have the money to pay for a home. I'm also attitude was, you're gonna be my wife, happy life. So we met a realtor. I would find houses that I wanted to tour. Keep in mind that this was COVID. So at the time, we could not tour a home. It would have to be a virtual tour. So this particular realtor, we found a house in not Cobb County, but nevertheless it's in Douglasville. I was fine with Douglasville. So we found a house in Douglasville, Georgia. The realtor did a FaceTime tour of the house. The house was really a nice home. 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. So we did a FaceTime tour of the home, and the home was listed, I believe, roughly 400 and something thousand. I really like the house. I could see myself living there. I could see us living there. I could see us with the kids there. This is now April, just for timeline purposes. This is April. So
How it's going?
he really liked the house. He was like, you know what, we'll put an offer in on the house. He was like, if you like it, because again, it was COVID, we weren't going to be able to see the house in person because the family still lived there. So he said, so we started going to Home Depot, Lowe's, because we had a printout of what the
right there.
sellers were going to take. They were going to take the appliances. He had a printout. Let me be clear. He had a printout. So it said on there that they were going to take the appliances. So we needed to get a new stove, new refrigerator, new microwave, all that stuff. So we went to Home Depot and Lowe's, and I went ham. I chose all these new appliances, and here's where we get into the shopping. All right, part 4. So we go to Home Depot, we go to Lowe's. I'm choosing all these appliances. He's taking pictures of the SKU number. We had representatives helping us, and he basically explained to them, hey, we're buying a house. We should be closing sometime in June. Can we order this stuff now? Can I put a hold on it? Like, what can we do? Because we're not ready for delivery. I stood there as the Home Depot rep said, we can hold it in our warehouse. Like, you can buy something and we can hold it. People do it all the time, especially with COVID. So I watched him pay. I want to say it was about it was either $350 or $500. I watched him pay a deposit on a whole new set of appliances for them, and they were going to hold it until we were ready for delivery. I watched this. So I was like, okay, good deal. Like, we got the appliances. Next, let's go to Rooms to Go and Ashley Furniture and find actual furniture. So prayer closet, because that's where I would do my recordings. And I remember thinking, what if we don't get this house? Like, what if we don't get, what if he's lying? But again, there goes that thought process of, why would he lie about this? Like, who makes up that they're buying a house when in fact they're not? And then he's showing you all this paperwork. Like, come on, you can't be that jaded that you don't even believe what's in front of you. All right? So now we're going to go into part 5. Okay, part 5. Who the fuck did I marry? It was just a question of, are we really about to move into this house? And keep in mind, he's paying all the household bills. He still is. So we're supposed to close before Memorial Day. We didn't. There was an excuse. There was always an excuse with him. Always an excuse. And I didn't know enough about the process to question stuff because I really wasn't involved the way I should have been. And it was giving me a lot of anxiety. So I'm pregnant with a lot of anxiety. And if I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all, I was not expecting that I was probably going to have a healthy pregnancy because I was stressed. And what I was stressed about is I didn't know what was going on because I wasn't really involved the way that a normal relationship would be involved. Just being honest. So we did not close. We move now into June. This is now going into June. Around June 5th, I looked at the house again on Realtor.com. I don't know what made me do it other than, and I don't mean to sound super spiritual, I know that people are like, you know, you may or may not believe in God, but I'm telling you, I believe with all my heart, probably the Holy Spirit was like, look at that house on Realtor.com. So I looked at the house on Realtor.com. This is where
it was kind of like,
this was around June 5th. It showed
I'm here with you on the Holy Spirit and like God showing you.
And I remember,
but I'm also
like,
here with you on the fact of like,
what does that mean? What does that mean?
He showed you that
because
and you did what?
Ex-husband is telling me we're about to close on the house. We're about to close. It's our house. We got furniture. Da 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 da. He's also telling me that he's been in contact with the realtor, his friend.
What she did with the proof she got with it was just like,
this is what's happening next. Here's
no
what's
way
going on.
That.
So the guy that we initially worked with apparently is completely out of the picture. But again, I was not heavily involved. So I'm just like, let me look at the house. I see it's off market. What the fuck does off market mean? Like now I'm really
oh my god, I mean
so
somebody
it
has
shows
it.
the
Right,
name
off
of
the market.
the real estate agent for the seller. I don't remember her name. I called her and I said, you know, I said my husband and I, even though I wasn't married, my husband and I were looking at this house at 123 Main Street, and we really wanted to tour it, but now I'm showing it's off market. Is it not available, or you know? I pulled that card, and she was like, "Oh no, ma'am, the home closed yesterday. It closed June 4th. Again, there's certain dates I just remember." And I said, "Oh, it closed June 4th." I was like, "Really?"
BRB, guys. Alright, guys, we're done with our first shoot.
Contested and ugly, eventually becomes amicable.
Here's the heart. Mine is just some
cordial with
designs. I'm gonna put a letter on my other one.
My ex-husband moved. This is all
Sure.
all before
I like
the
this side.
So I'm telling you the story of what I was told in 2020. So eventually, about 2 years later, is when his job approached him about an opportunity to transfer to Georgia. And so he took it. New beginning, fresh start, his family in Georgia. He took it. He told me this story pretty much
Bullying.
the second or third conversation we had. So it was always that she had cheated. He caught her.
Now I'm about to do
And
the second two.
he had filed for divorce.
I started mine just a
But
little
he was
bit.
still close to the kids.
Might as
They
well
still
take
had a
this
great
off,
relationship.
sis.
I've heard him on the phone with the kids, you know, just encouraging them, helping the 17-year-old like with homework. The kids really apparently wanted to meet me.
How do you help a 17-year-old with homework over the phone and you don't see the homework?
He would apparently
Like,
send
what?
money. You know, they needed something because he loved the kids as if they were his own. Telling me the story as I was told it in 2020. So, let's see, around April or May of 2020, he informs me that his ex-wife has moved to Georgia. Apparently, she's staying with her sister in Gwinnett County. So, she's moved to Georgia. The two kids are now in Georgia.
No pink on this
So,
side.
when he tells me all this, I'm like, so what's that supposed to mean? Now, I will say this. He never made it seem as if she wants him back. He never presented that. It was always, no, you know, we're cool for the kids. We're cool for the kids. But he's never presented that she
They look
was
big on her
trying to
feet.
get him back.
That's what I'm saying. These are big shoes.
I feel like it's fair to her for me to say that. And again, stay with me. It all comes out. But that was the backstory in regards to the ex-wife. That they got married in California, they divorced in California, and then she eventually moved to Georgia, to Gwinnett County, after he had transferred to Georgia for his job. He did tell me that, you know, every now and then he'll get a text message from her. He told me that he, you know, told her when I was pregnant, he felt like she needed to hear that from him instead of hearing it from the kids. And we got into a bit of an argument about that, but honey, in the big scheme of things,
I just did a V.
Anyway, so we got into an argument about that. I felt like that's none of her business. But that's the overall backstory of
I'm
her.
not digging in my nose. I'm
remember,
fixing my nose ring.
because there will be a quiz. But just remember,
Let me see how you make your A.
met her in California, married her in California, divorced her in California. She moved to Georgia, to Gwinnett County, after
and
he
then
moved
put
to Georgia.
like a different color in the middle,
Clear?
so it can be like.
Okay. Part 13 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So I've kind of given you guys all the backstory. Let's just kind of recap real quick. So
Do instead of connecting it, do
met
3
in
separate
March
lines.
of 2020. Basically, Georgia got shut down.
3,
I keep saying shut down.
not
Got
3
locked
lines,
down. We decided to
2
quarantine
lines
together. I
and
know
3
it was
dots.
crazy. It was crazy.
2 lines and 3 dots.
I really liked him.
Long, and then
Thought he liked me. So,
You have a W?
I told you guys how we met. Things moved at a
3 dots
rapid
of
pace.
yarn.
Met in March.
yeah, like
Moved in together pretty
a
much
line of it,
beginning
a
end of
line of it,
March, beginning of April. Found out I was
but
pregnant in May.
make it like I guess
Lost the baby
you
in
might have to
June.
make it bigger.
Had to have
Yeah.
surgery in July. Started looking for houses. Started looking at cars. All this stuff happened literally between March and the end of, and August is when I got my car. So, got a car in August. He paid the down payment for that car. Which I was shocked by. And no, it was not a BMW or an Audi. It was a Nissan Altima. Of looking at cars.
It don't look like an M.
I was
It's
mad
gonna
that
look
I
like
didn't
an
get a
M 'cause
BMW
the yarn is
X5
big.
dark blue
So
with
should I do
cognac
different color
interior.
dots?
No, because then it's not
And
gonna
I
look
was tired
right.
of looking at houses, getting my hopes up, looking at a house and picturing myself in the master bedroom, the kitchen, the island, you know, all that stuff. I'm a visual person, and
Or you can, yeah, or you can do just
I
two
was
small
tired of
lines.
getting my
Two
hopes
small
up.
lines.
So now we're going to segue into
And then this is a
fall,
peep.
going into the holidays. Here's what happened. In October, we looked at another house. This house was in Marietta. Absolutely gorgeous.
And you can just like stuff your
It was
other colors
gorgeous.
in
I
there.
want to say that the house was about $700,000. I really liked the house. I could see myself living there. I could see myself cooking there.
If you want to, you can put the other colors around it first,
Subsequently,
and then glue it in the black in the little crack.
Offer on that house. I watched him put an all cash offer in on the house. Our real estate agent Scott called us about 24 hours later, and he said, the sellers love your offer. The offer house until you show at least us, meaning the real estate firm, until you show us proof of funds. And so I'm just like, well, I'm telling my ex-husband, just show them the fucking proof of offer in at full asking price.
We'll come back when we finish with the second two. That's like,
he was like, and I'm not comfortable. So he's playing that victim card. And so the pastor and his wife were like, you know, we're still gonna help y'all as much as we can.
Little black spots right here
At the bottom.
So I felt like just woman to woman, she was basically
Why does
telling
that look
me,
like M.I.?
Is you?
something ain't right.
Me.
My.
Baby, something ain't
I'm gonna say
right.
that. It says my.
And now you need to open your eyes. I'll be more than
This
happy to
was
work
really
with
fun
you.
to do.
If
It
y'all
is
get
like
your shit
5 in the
together,
morning.
I'll
It
work
is.
with both of you. But
And we
whether
started, like,
you
5
buy a
hours ago.
house or not,
Very, very
do your research
time consuming.
and then let me know what I can do.
It was fun.
That was our conversation. The quick trip
Jesus.
up Riverdale Road.
Oh,
So I
my
got off the
touchdown must be
phone.
up.
That was the last time that
Oh yeah, we've been doing this
we
for 3
worked
hours.
with any sort of realtor. That was the last time that we looked at any sort of house.
So we didn't start at.
No, we started like.
And I
1
don't know, I don't remember exactly what happened after that meeting that day. I do know that when I went
Get
home,
my clothes out
I
of it. She got my
simply told
clothes in
him,
the last time.
I don't want to look at a house right now. I said, I think it's okay
That's all
if
for
we
this
rent.
video, guys.
We'll just find a house in Cobb County and just
See y'all later.
rent.